Praise and glory to our Heavenly Father, Yahweh, in the name of our Lord and Savior, Yahawashi. Peace, mercy, and blessings be abounding to you, brothers and sisters, throughout the four corners of the earth that are waiting on the second coming of our Lord. Today we're going to go into a little bit about just understanding the importance of balance, especially balance in judgment, to understand that the Most High is only going to be dealing with people that are on his right side.
Right.
Right. And what I mean by right side, meaning the right side of the Father is Yahawashi.
Right.
So you got to go through that way. That's why everything is talked about, and a lot of stuff that Yahawashi talked about was in the form of balance,
right.
of balanced judgment and understanding. You know,
so say he deals in balanced weight.
Yeah.
Like everything, the Bible basically, the Most High always give you two choices, man.
Right.
You can either choose right or wrong, good or evil.
Mm-hmm.
You know, light or dark.
Yep.
So you're gonna get two choices.
Yep.
And so you know, that's we finna get into the balance. Like the Most High gonna always give you those two choices. You know, and it's up to you to choose the right side.
Yeah, go ahead and get the Proverbs.
This is Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 1. A false balance is an abomination to Yahweh, but a just weight is his delight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just like we were saying, you know, the Most High deals with balance, man.
Yep.
Everything has to be on a everything has to have a repercussion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if you do something evil, you're gonna have to pay for it. If you do something good, you're gonna get a reward for it. You know, so just like in judgment, you know,
yep.
You live a righteous life here on earth, and yeah, you're gonna get a righteous reward.
Yep.
But if you live a wicked life here on earth, you're gonna get a wicked man's reward, man.
That's right.
Which is hell.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. It's good that you said that word hell, because a lot of people are not believing that the Most High has a judgment concerning people that don't believe, that believe not.
Right. Yep.
And that's very dangerous, because it could cause someone to not believe that they need to strive for greatness in this. And it doesn't make someone examine fully like themselves and the doctrine that they're in.
Right.
Because now, if you really feel that there's a particular, there's a punishment reward system, fully, a balanced punishment and reward system, then it's going to make you say, man, my life is really, my salvation is truly on the line.
Right.
So I got to really look into making sure that this doctrine is correct. When brothers bring up baptism, I need to really sit down and take away my preconceived notions and really listen, look at these scriptures and look at this understanding and weigh it
in the
balance of whether or not this is better or not.
That's good. That's good.
You know?
That's right.
Yeah. This is Sirach 33 and starting at the 14th verse. It says, good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. So look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are two and two, one against the other.
That's it.
There's your balance right there.
That's it.
So there's a carnal man, then there's a spiritual man.
Yep.
There's a carnal understanding, and then there's a spiritual understanding as well.
So I know they, like a lot of brothers that's in the truth, they don't believe in a hell, so they'll go and say that's Christianity. But you believe in that there's a hell, that's Christianity.
Yep.
Because you believe in, you know, that you can do whatever you want on this side and still get salvation.
As long as you confess Jesus is Lord, you can get salvation.
Right.
It don't make no sense.
You might they'll be running through here, getting smashed face drunk, and then they would say, "I'm already saved. I'm a Christian."
Right.
Because that particular doctrine they have is a satanic doctrine, and it makes sense, because when you go through ancient Rome, that's how their gods were.
And the difference in that is you believe in. I mean, just because you know that you're an Israelite, you think you're gonna automatically get into the kingdom.
That's part of Christian doctrine.
Yeah.
I'm a Christian, therefore I make it automatic.
Now all they did was just bring it over to Israel. I'm an Israelite,
right?
And so I'm gonna automatically get the kingdom.
Now I brought it.
Come in the kingdom as a baby.
Yeah.
Man, get out of here, man.
That's an escape clause, right there.
Yeah.
Sounds like you getting in some other way.
What'd you say?
You brought up the godly versus the sinner, right?
Yeah.
Now, the carnal man will say, that's Esau. The sinner, see, we're the godly.
Right.
Esau's the sinner. No, that's not what it's talking about.
That's not what it's talking
It's talking
about.
about two types of men. Okay? And when you go into this, the scriptures, it shows you the difference, even in Yahawashi's ministry.
That's right.
You know, when you go into like, when the Pharisees came to him about the blind man, they asked him, they said, he said, because you see, therefore your sin remaineth.
Yeah.
Because he said you see.
That's right.
So I'm going to get it real quick. It's John 9 and 38. And he said, Lord, I believe, and he worshiped him. This is the blind man. And Yahawashi said, for judgment, now judgment has to be balanced.
You're right.
Esau puts up a symbol of weighted scale, right? You go to his court, they put a scale, a balance beam with a weighted scale showing you they're being balanced in judgment. But that's one of the key points of contention that Jake has with Esau is that he perverts judgment.
Right.
He'll have Jake get thrown in for jail for 30 years for robbing a liquor store, but an Edomite can go and an Edomite cop can go kill a kid like Tamir Rice and get off.
Yep.
Yeah.
GoFundMe.
You know, have a GoFundMe and get that money, relocate to another place.
Millions.
Like, in fact, that's what happened. The guy that killed Tamir Rice was found out that he went over to another city called Bel Air over there in Ohio, and he's now working there. So this man kills Tamir Rice, gets a GoFundMe of $250,000, leaves that place and gets hired as a police officer in another place.
Wicked.
When he should be actually really put to death, according to the scriptures. Now, if Jake did it, you already know what y'all would be on. In fact, speaking of justice, the woman that accused Emmett Till of trying to rape her,
right?
That woman came out and said she lied, and she's still alive.
Right.
Why are y'all persecuting her?
Right.
In fact, the heavy thing about that is that the death of Emmett Till started the civil rights movement.
Look at that.
You got to think about how heavy it is. This woman admits to lying decades later. 60 years later, she admits to lying. The guys that killed Emmett Till, they got off for the murder. They died. She's still alive, walking around Mississippi, unscathed, no punishment.
Look at that.
But you Edomites that live over there was going to church praying to Jesus every Sunday. I bet that.
And you know what that's an example of? Imbalance.
Yep.
Right.
That's imbalance right there. So we know that America, this place is based upon false balances.
That's right.
So the ways of this country are not pleasing to the Most High.
Yep.
So everything that they operate, that their modus operandum is perverse and crooked. And so those ways can never be made straight.
Yep.
So when you look at that, man, you got to understand that the judgment that's coming upon this place, man.
Yeah, and that's why Yahawashi came, because Yahawashi came the first time to judge, to show the judgment that Israel was wrong and what they needed to do. The second time he's going to come is to judge everybody.
To judge everybody.
Because when he came down, he didn't come down to judge Esau.
Right.
The first time he wasn't even concerned about Esau, because Esau was in the power seat.
Right.
And he understood that already. He didn't have to go and be like, I got to be a zealot, don't pay Caesar taxes. He was dealing with just Jake. But this come around, he's gonna judge all men.
Yeah. And you see how the thing of the Most High progresses.
Yep.
See, Jake will read the scriptures and say, "Oh, look, he's dealing with Jake. He's dealing with Jake. He never spoke to Esau." So in 2018, Jake reading the scriptures and saying he ain't even dealing with Esau. He's dealing with Jake. But not understanding progressively that this thing is going to engulf the whole body.
That's heavy. Showing you we have to still tell the other nations, because the judgment is a different level.
It's on a different level.
The judgment been upgraded to another scale.
Yep.
That's why the end time prophecy in the Old Testament, in the first 5 books, says that you were going to tell the people where you are scattered to, the judgment of the Lord. Yep.
Come on, man.
Let them know why you're in slavery. That's in Baruch.
So everything is in a progressive state. It's in the progression. So now, when you go into the doctrine and you start to see the balance of the Lord, you can go into the carnal aspect of it.
Yep.
And then you can progress later on and see the spiritual, because it's not the same as it was in the carnal.
Yep.
And you see how this thing is going to operate, but everyone wants to stay in the carnal because it benefits them physically.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So you'll be an Israelite saying, well, look, you can do this, that, and the other. You still going to get it. But not understanding the progression of this gospel.
Yep. And the progression was talked about. Deuteronomy, when he said that brethren shall raise up among the people like unto me.
Like unto me.
Whom shall ye hear?
Yep.
So he was going to say stuff that was even going to go beyond what Moses was talking about.
Right.
It's going to fit within the law and the prophets. You know?
That's heavy.
Now, when you go into this verse 39, John 9:39, it says, Yahawashi said, for judgment I came into this world, which he's going to come into judgment again.
Right.
Into this world, right? To judge the nations and to judge Israel. That they which see not might see, and that they which see might be made blind. And some of the Pharisees which were with him heard these words and said unto him, are we blind also? And Yahawashi said unto them, if ye were blind, you would have no sin. But now ye say, ye see, therefore your sin remaineth. So if sin can remain upon someone that did not believe in Yahawashi, then how in the world can they get the kingdom?
Right.
When their debt hasn't been paid, their debt of sin is still upon them. They have wages. The wages of sin is death.
Come on,
but
man.
the gift of Yahweh is eternal life.
That's right.
That's a balance. That's just that statement alone is balance.
It's balance in itself, man. So you can't.
Come on, man.
I don't even know how to.
I don't know
how much easier can it be? You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you,
I don't understand how much easier you can make it.
Yeah. If you got sin as a wage, you need to have that remitted. Whether it's past, current, or future sin, it has to be remitted before you can enter into the kingdom. Right.
Oh,
Or basically that's when you have your dirt. You don't have your wedding garment.
Because the carnal and the spiritual is the thing that's tearing Jake up right now. They cannot get the carnal and the spiritual. They just can't understand the concept of it, man. You can understand it on a carnal level, that if you do good just by your parents, they gon' reward you. You do bad, they gonna put that belt to you.
Yep.
So now you looking at it as an adult. You do good, you can live your life, buy things that you need or whatever. But if you do bad, then guess what? You liable to have your life taken or go to prison.
Yep.
So these are things that you got to look at, but then you got to look at it on the spiritual level too. And I'm just bringing it on the carnal from a child to an adult, and then you go into the spiritual aspect. You do right by the Most High, you got a reward. But if you do bad, there's another reward that's not good for you, man. You ain't gonna like that reward.
Even in the law, it said if you have a rebellious child that hear you not, so to bring him out in front of the people and put him to death.
And put him to death.
It said all the men of the town should stone him with stones.
Yep, that's balance, man.
So how in the world is it you gonna do whatever the hell you want and then you got the greatest reward, which is eternal life? That don't make sense.
That don't make sense. You can't. It don't work like that. There was a story in the scripture that talks about Lazarus and the rich man. It's a prime example,
That's right.
He gave the example of Lazarus and the rich
That was
man.
talking about Esau. No, that was a rich Jake, bro.
That was a rich Jake.
That was a rich Jake.
Yeah.
That was talking about the Rothschild and his 5 sons. See, he had 5 brothers, you see? No.
No, man. Because
That's what you Jakes, the same Jakes that be talking down on homeless people. That's y'all.
That's it.
The same one that'll roll through here in a nice $50,000 whip and be like making fun of a homeless man.
because that comes a time when things of the carnal nature has to cease. It's gonna come a time, everyone always talks about, it goes in cycles. Yeah, it does go in cycles, but then there's a stopping point too. That thing gonna end one day, man. It ain't just gonna keep on perpetuating in that way. So everyone just keeps on because they got it in their mind. Oh, yeah, we just gonna get on the other go round. You know what? I bet you back in the gap, in the ancient world, they was thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
we just gonna come back around. You know what? Those same people have that same mindset. It's just, we just gonna come back around and we'll get the kingdom on the next go round.
Yeah, there was always doctrine like that.
That was always.
People think that these are new doctrines, man.
Ain't nothing new under the sun.
There was doctrines like that in Israel where people didn't believe that they were gonna be destroyed. That
Right.
Israel was. That's why you had the guy arguing with Yahawashi in the book of John, saying, He'd be born of it. He says, I would be born of Abraham's seed. I would be not born of fornication.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, he basically saying, listen, man, I got this. I'm an Israelite.
Right.
So what are you talking about, man?
Right.
He started to let him know, like, if you weren't Abraham's seed, you would works of Abraham.
Right.
Because you know, but you are not. But you are not.
Yeah.
Of God. You know? And then he told me you are the father of the devil, and the works of your father you will do.
Boys, they ain't done.
So how's a man like that Yahawashi was talking to? He gonna just pop over and keep, hey man, remember back in the day, he was coming at me before I got crucified and you was talking all that shit? And come on, enter down to that king. Enter down to the king.
Salakia. That's what Yahawashi gonna say. Salakia.
You forget that you. Salakia.
You can't, man.
You Israelite, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, come on, man. My bad.
You know, the scriptures say, come, let us reason in these things, man. And that's the thing, man. It's like, man, the stuff is crazy because, man, Israel been out here, man. Israel been on the corners for a minute now, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we got to graduate. We got to, you know,
right, man.
Got to improve because, man, you can't keep thinking like that, man. You can't think like that in the carnal world. How you going to think like that in the spiritual world?
Yeah, the Most High is like, he's a terrible power, man.
Yeah.
Our people don't want to, our people, see, that's the reason why our people don't want to believe that there is a hell.
You're right.
Because you understand we've been through all this hell condition on earth, and then you're thinking, well, dang, that's unfair because if he's going to throw a subset on our people, then why didn't he just wake everybody up? But that's not up to you to make that decision.
Come on, man. What the clay and the potter, bro.
Yeah. Oh, that's before that.
Come on.
Go to Sirach 33 and go to about verses 12 and 13.
Yeah.
Because I believe that's in there. See, that goes in line with what we're talking about, and it leads into the balance.
That's right.
You see it? He fashioneth one for good, for his pleasure. It should be like the 12th, 11th, 12th, and 13th verse.
That's why he said the wise man shouldn't glory in his wisdom. The rich man should not glory in his wealth.
Yep.
And what was the other? Three of them.
Yeah.
Wise man, the rich man, I can't remember. But all that's got something to do with balance, man.
Yeah, this is Sirach 33, starting at the 10th verse, and it says, all men are from the ground, and Adam was created of earth. In much knowledge the Lord hath divided them and made their ways diverse. Some of them hath he blessed and exalted, and some of them hath he sanctified and set near himself. But some of them hath he cursed and brought low and turned out of their places. As the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it as at his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him to render to them as liketh him best.
Yep.
Come on, man.
See, that's heavy, man.
That's some serious stuff.
That's
right
heavy. That's a balance thing, because that basically shows you, just because it tells you in like manner. In fact, get that and go to Romans 9 and 13. Huh?
No, go ahead. I was just thinking about that.
Yeah, because that's crazy, man.
So the Most High does that with nations, man.
Yeah.
He created all them nations. Hey, isn't that heavy?
That's
because it says that Adam and the other nations came out the ground.
Yeah, come on, man.
Showing you that he created other nations along with Adam.
And he created them.
And he exalted Adam.
Yep.
Above the other ones that he also created out of the ground.
Yep, that's right.
And he gave his breath, meaning his commandments, to him. That was the difference between him and Adam and the other nations.
Boy, that's some serious.
That's why Adam, the prime Adam, or Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
You know, Adamus Prime. The prime Adam that's written about, he was given the power to name everything on earth.
Yeah.
Now go ahead and get that.
20.
Yeah. Well, you can start at 13.
Jacob and Esau?
Yeah, Jacob and Esau is the balance of the creation of those two. And this applies also when you, like the brother said, when you go spiritually even further.
Right.
This applies to Jacob.
Right.
So that he has a loved among the nation and those that he hated among the nation of Israel.
This is Romans chapter 9 and verse 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God? God forbid. For he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of Yahweh that showeth mercy. For the scripture,
Got it?
yeah. For the scripture said unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Therefore has the mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will be hardened. Thou wilt say then unto me, why does he yet find fault? For who has resisted his will? Nay, but, O man, who art thou that replies against God? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Has not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? What if God, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endure much long suffering to the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction, and that he might make known the riches of his glory of the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared unto glory, even us whom he has called, not of the Jews only, but also of the Gentiles.
Yeah, and it says of those of whom he had called. Called
Right.
through what? Called through the gospel of his son, Yahawashi.
That's right.
Because, see, he's letting you know at the end that the ones that was going to obtain that mercy were the ones that were called out
Yep.
into the gospel. That's why that key word there is, it didn't say not only to the Jews and the Jews, but also into the Gentiles. No, those that were called amongst the ones that were practicing and those that were heathen. And it says called for a reason.
That's right.
You know, it says called for a reason because not everybody is called into this. Not everybody's called to believe, man. A lot of people are going to believe in other false doctrines, and they're going to be part of the number that's not does not obtain mercy.
That's right.
You know, and that's part of the balance. So that's what happens is that a lot of our people want to go up against the order of the Most High, to where He has said, "I am not going to accept all Israel." When you go into the Old Testament, it talks about how He likened Israel to a cluster of grapes, and the elect to saving one grape.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's very obvious that He's not going to deal with all Israel the same. And it gives you the balance. If someone is going to receive eternal life, goodness and pleasures, the other one's going to receive what? Eternal punishment. That's the balance.
That's right, man.
So we have to be very much aware of all this false doctrine teaching saying that's not going to be there. You guys are basically saying that one can do whatever they want, man. That means you telling brothers they could go to LA right now, go talk to an Amalekite, and basically sacrifice their friend or whatever, or their mom, and go get a record deal with freaking, like, you know, Epic or something. You know? Just go get a record deal and they'll just pump them up on Spotify, put them on freaking Vlad TV, platform interview. With Vlad talking about, hey, I'm this up and coming rapper. Everybody, that's when you see stuff like that, they'll put a guy out there like on platforms like Vlad TV that got over 1 million subscribers, and then you'll see the comments. People are like, man, who is this guy? Who is this new rapper they talking about? I don't know who this guy is.
Right.
Yeah, because he got that Faustin pact.
That's right.
He didn't sign that deal, but according to a lot of Israelite doctrine, that guy could do all that stuff and then still inherit the kingdom.
Still get the king.
So he's smarter than you because he's living more pleasurable in this world, and he inherits the world
Ain't
to
gonna
come.
inherit the world to come. That just don't even sound right.
They don't sound right at all, bro.
Nah. Because I might as well close my Bible right now.
Yep.
Drop the mic.
Yeah. We'd be looking stupid if that's the deal. If that's the way the deal is, we'd be looking stupid being out here.
That's right, man.
Because like we were talking about earlier with Christians, there's a subset of Christians that believe once you believe in Jesus, you're always a believer. They say once saved, always saved. That's the term we used to hear growing up. Remember that?
Right.
Like if you did your what in the Catholic Church, you do your, what do you call it? What's the rite of passage? What they call it?
It's like a confirmation. Or
Your confirmation.
Yeah.
See, that's why they do that. See, that's why parents have their kids go through that confirmation process.
Right.
Because the belief is that once they go through that confirmation process, that kid is always going to be saved.
I did it.
That's part of the psychology around it. And what it does is it allows them to push the wickedness of that doctrine. Because now you got a shield, you got an immunity, right? You got immunity from destruction because you went through this confirmation process. So a lot of people don't understand this doctrine was around even within Christianity. Some of them truly believe you'll go to hell. Some of them say you'll just go through purgatory. And then you'll get out if your family prays enough. That's part of the reason why when you go into like in Mexico, they believe first of all, they don't have no death penalty in Mexico. Two, they believe that if your kid was wicked and died, that if you just pray enough to marry, then you can bring your kid out of purgatory into heaven.
Right.
So that's why that family unit piece is so vital from a religious standpoint to the Israelites.
Right.
Because they believe that I need my family, if I go, they gotta pray to get me out of purgatory. That's really part of the reason why they have some of aspects of the reason why they're so close and knit is in part because of that spiritual misunderstanding that they have.
Paul said, all Israel shall be saved in Romans. He was talking about the Israel of God, talking about the believers.
Yep.
No, he wasn't talking about all Israel. He was talking about the Israel of God.
Yep.
The elect.
That's right.
And you hear him talking about the elect all the time. Elect. That's what the kingdom for, man.
Yep.
It's not for all Israel. It's for the elect of Israel.
Why talk about an elect if everybody gonna make it? There's no elect. Everybody's chosen.
Everybody's chosen. It's common sense.
Everybody, come on, you'll make it. Make it into the kingdom. Michael Jackson died a peaceful death with some milk of magnesia, propofol, right? He's just gonna wake up in the kingdom, just moonwalk.
He's gonna come back as your son.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
That don't make no sense, bro. And aside from all the other stuff he went through, he lived a fabulous life. He traveled the world, people worshiped him. He was a billionaire, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, he could eat whatever he wanted. He never lacked for nothing. But then he just gonna skip right over you and just come out and be. And that don't make no sense, man. You got to understand. The stuff even makes sense from a logical standpoint when you make these doctrines.
I heard that brother on that video said it well about all kingdoms, all countries. They all have a dungeon or a jail. Just like in the new kingdom, it's gonna be a dungeon. It's gonna be a jail, which is gonna be called hell.
Yeah, it's actually gonna be a place on earth.
That's right.
Literally. It ain't going to be like some spiritual, it's going to be a place on earth where you could go and you can see people under torment. That's according to the scriptures, man.
That's in the scriptures, man.
That's how heavy it is. It's actually going to be a place that you can literally, with the Lazarus and the rich man.
Yeah.
He could see it was a gulf fix, meaning there was a separated barrier,
Right.
And it tells you that it should be abhorrent to all flesh, so even animals will be able to see it. Yeah, you can get that in Isaiah. That's in 666.
Yeah. This is Isaiah chapter 66 and verse 24. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, this is in the kingdom.
Yep.
Shall all flesh come to worship before me, said Yahweh. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me. For their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be an abhorring unto flesh.
Come on, dog.
Unto all flesh.
That right there is a freaking,
That's right.
That's a stab to the jugular vein. That right there, you're done.
And this is not going to just be looking at no dead bodies. But this is going to be something that says it's going to be done every Sabbath day.
Yep, and every new moon.
That's right.
Right, it's going to be like a memorial.
Yeah.
To see, it's like a reminder over and over again. And even the other nations is going to see it. That's what's going to
go look at these swords through that go fix looking at these souls, I mean, it's like looking at these souls through that gulf being tormented, man.
Yeah. And their body's not even decomposing.
Right.
It says that worm dieth not, man. That's some foul bodies, man. And it stays on fire. And they just being tormented, just like the rich man was.
Yep.
He said, take me out of here, for I'm in torment of this flame. He was experiencing or saw the vision. Like it tells you, he lifted up his eyes in hell.
In hell, man.
So his body, he had a body, he was able to lift up his eyes.
That's
Y'all
right.
was saying, oh, he was in America catching hell there.
Man,
Nigga, then that means we're under the judgment,
Right.
man. If that's the case, if we're catching hell, if the catching hell is the low condition that we're in, then that means we've already been judged. We're not written in the book of life, and somebody else is probably is up in the heaven somewhere, like Esau think, kicking it with Jesus.
Yeah.
You know, drinking some Jesus juice with Michael Jackson.
Breaking bread.
You know, with naked baby angels flying around. This right there shows you that there was a judgment, bro. See, our people don't want to fathom that, man. Yahawashi talked about this. This is in the, first of all, the prophets of old talked about it. Then Yahawashi talked about it as well. You guys keep on fumbling on this subject because of the fact that y'all don't want to believe what it's really saying.
I just read a prophecy Isaiah prophesizing about it.
Yeah. There's going to be a place on earth, literally on earth, that one will be able to go to and see this happen.
Yep, that's right.
Probably a big old deep, area of just a whole bunch of people in there in agony that you'll see every Sabbath day and every new moon. It says all flesh will come to worship him, and he's going to be there, and they're going to see. It's just like in Abraham's bosom.
Yep.
The same thing. Y'all, I mean, the Most High is a supernatural being, man. He could create an area on earth that stays perpetually on fire. I mean, is that hard for you to believe?
You can't imagine it in your corner mind, don't mean it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Listen, the earth underneath got lava that's perpetually on fire. That you can't put out. It's been on fire since the creation of the earth.
Yeah.
So in your mind, you can't imagine that a place could be perpetually on fire, 24/7, never go out. But you believe, you'll go to a volcano area, and you could fly over on a helicopter and see lava bubbling up inside that volcano.
You got just geysers like in Yellowstone Park, bubbling for years over there.
Hot water.
Hot water.
They got pools. They got pools, hot springs. I forgot what they call them.
Yeah.
But they got them little pools where it's just literally just burning hot. You could fall in there and dissolve.
And burn you up all you.
People there's a story about a guy that was at one of them national parks, and he fell up in that joke. Dude. And that joker stays perpetually hot year round.
Year round. Been like that for years, man. Thousands of years, bro.
Yep. So it's like you do err not knowing the scriptures nor the power of Yahweh.
That's right.
You do greatly err. You know what I'm saying? You don't believe that you can put a vile body on somebody and have that joker burning forever with worms coming out of it? Looking like a scarecrow from Batman, right?
Yeah.
Just looking a jacked up scarecrow looking body that is on fire and worms coming out of it perpetually. Because what happened is a lot of people read those scriptures back in the ancient world, and yes, they did turn that stuff into what you call Dante's Inferno, because people knew about that stuff in the Old Testament. They was reading Isaiah, so of course they made the pictures of that back then of what it looked like. You get what I'm saying? Because God's argument is that the Greeks made it up, and it's Greek mythology. Yeah, there's some aspects of the Greek mythology that's based on actual truth. That's the reason why a lot of these religions are basically what you call counterfeits of the truth. That's why every religion has a Messiah type figure. They have a main God, they have a Messiah type figure, and then they have a female figure. In ours, the female figure, we don't worship as Mary, right? Then we have a Messiah, which is Yahawashi, and then we have the Father God, which is Yahweh. Every culture has that. That's the reason why when you go in the land of Canaan, they had Baal.
Yep.
They had Ishtar was the female counterpart.
That's right, bro.
So it's the same thing. You know, but that don't mean that the setup, that don't mean that this, what we got is not true. Same thing with the hell aspect of it. That's the same thing here. That's part of the balance of the Lord, you know. And we'll get more in detail with actual, you know, lessons on it, but it needed to be said just so brothers understand, man. Don't listen to these guys out here telling you that ain't nothing. Trust me, man.
Ain't no hell.
We got multiple scriptures, man, going back to Old Testament Apocrypha.
That's right.
Backing up the whole gamut. So how you can't get around it, man. Yahawashi was talking about it. So now you gotta say Yahawashi crazy. Because he did parables about men lifting up their eyes in hell and torment.
Yep.
But then you're gonna be like, oh man, that's us catching hell in the Babylon, man. So that means you're a wicked rich man. That don't make no sense. You the wicked rich man and his brothers catching hell in Babylon for punishment.
That's right. And like the brother had said, though, that probably wasn't even a parable because he used names with Lazarus and the rich man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because he's basically talking about how the man died after begging for what's it called. So we didn't know the name of the man is not an actual name, but that man probably really existed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It could have been a story, a true story that the Most High was telling, man.
Yep. It tells you he wouldn't even feed him from the crumbs that came from the table. And the dogs licked him sore of his wounds. And he ended up developing sores on his body. And you see that out here, man.
Yep.
If you come out here in downtown, you'll see guys that have been homeless, they walk around, man, they got sores on their feet all over, man. And if you see a dog like this we see across the street, if a stray dog come by, they might come by and be licking them.
Think you in hell right now. Think you in hell right now.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of them entertainers, man, they know the deals they took on the left-hand side, that what the ultimate end is going to be, man.
Yep.
That's why they be going through it, man. Because a lot of times them entertainers are more spiritual than your average Jake. And this is why I say that is this. Because they take spiritual deals on the left-hand side, knowing that it's going to lead to their rich fortune and their fame.
Spiritual, but lacking faith.
Exactly. But they know that they got to do something on this side to make it.
Right. And
that's why a lot of them people take them deals, but then they ends up killing them on the inside because they know they done took a deal that's going to lead to them being tossed in the freaking into the fire. That's why you got little Uzi's hurt, man. He even said it that he knows he's going to hell, man. He said if you follow me, he told his fans, if you like this song, y'all going to hell with me.
Yep.
Right? Remember that?
Right.
He said that's what that boy said, man. That's the type of stuff that they know. They know what they're doing. They know. They know that the stuff that they're doing is wrong. That's why the boy Kanye West is losing his mind. You know? He said he done sold his soul for a Happy Meal. He said he done sold it. He said, I got a crappy deal or whatever.
That's why Trump is boy. That's why he say he love Trump. They worship the same God.
Yep. They both worship Apollo. You know, also known as Baphomet. You know, well, one of his other, what do you call it, AKAs, also known as, right? Yeah. I'm surprised she didn't recognize me. I worked with her for like 7 years. Everybody trying to help her too. Everybody but yeah, man. One of the things that our people don't realize is the fact that the Most High has that balance, man.
Yep.
That's the reason why the Most High, that's why I see even talk about in the scriptures about the words like the book of life.
Yeah.
Why would there be a book of life if everybody could get in? You might as well throw away the book because everybody got in. Everybody got in just through progeny, man. Just through being the son of Jacob, you got in. No reason to have a book with names in it.
Right.
If everybody got in.
Everybody got in. Ain't no sense in having a book.
It's like Oprah. It's like Oprah.
Everybody get a car.
Everybody get a car. You get a car. You get a car. Everybody get a car.
You get in the kingdom. You get in the kingdom. Everybody get in the kingdom.
Come on, man. I watched that Joker live. I came back from school, turned that Joker on, man, and she giving everybody Pontiac G6s. The whole audience.
You got Jesus. Handing out getting the kingdom free cards.
Yeah. You get in the kingdom, you get in the kingdom, everybody gets in the kingdom. No, well, it sounds like that ain't fun like that. I like to have people not get in.
That ain't a Christian doctrine. I don't know what it is.
This is Philippians chapter 4 and verse 3. And I entreat thee also, true yoke fellow, help those women which labored with me in the gospel, with Clement also, and with other my fellow laborers whose names are in the book of life. So the book of life, why would there be a book of life if you can't be in it or out of it? Okay? Either written or not written.
That's right.
Got something? Oh, should we get that Proverbs 16 and 11? We'll bring that out.
That's the one we started with?
No, we started with 11 and 1.
This is Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 11. A just weight and balance are the Lord's. All the weights of the bag are his work.
Yep, a just weight and a balance. You got to weigh everything in the balance, man.
That's right.
You know, and that's how he does it. He can't just have a guy. You, Larry Hoover. You out here created a big gang criminal empire that led to deaths of thousands of people. Then destroyed, and the residual effects of it. The mothers, the brothers and sisters of those people, their children being disenfranchised. All that stuff has a trickle down effect, man. And when you look at a man like a Larry Hoover, he started a spring of wickedness that still is going on to this very day. But according to guys' doctrine, Larry Hoover gonna be in the kingdom.
Because he an Israelite.
Because he an Israelite. You got to be in the kingdom. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works at all. And that's just why people have a problem amongst each other, because of the division of those that want to be righteous and those that want to be wicked. You know, and the wicked will try to seduce.
Like we said, if it was like that, man, I wouldn't be standing up here right now. My feet hurt, my back hurt. You think I'd be standing up here trying to talk to hard-headed Negroes?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even be wasting my time.
Yeah. The prophet should have, they knew that, they might have just decided to just not preach.
Probably wouldn't even be the Bible wouldn't even be this thick. They wouldn't even have much to say.
Yeah.
You
they
know
just have, hey, you're Israel, you're saved.
Yeah.
Guys coming up to the camps, you know, hey, you better hope you're Israel. No, that don't help them now. What you need to do is come out them pages of the gospel and show them the way to salvation. But part of the problem is that because Israel doesn't know the way to salvation, they're using these other ways of getting people in, and then because they're not sure of it, they say, well, look, if you're an Israelite, you know, better hope you're an Israelite, yada, yada, yada. See you in the kingdom. You can't have this, and that's why the love of Jake is fake among certain groups, because they will hate Jake and wish death upon Jake and all that stuff, and then also say, well, look, you're going to make it into the kingdom. You're just going to have to die on this side. And that's the reason why you got guys mistreating other guys in this thing. You know? Because they believe that they're still immune to from that judgment, man. There is no eternal judgment. How is it the Most High going to create eternal life but not eternal punishment? He's a balanced power. He likes light and he likes darkness.
Yeah.
If we're going to be kings, we got to have subjects. We got to have slaves. People talk about the kingdom of heaven, but there's going to be no slave. That's a dang lie.
Really?
You got anything? Still got a lot of time. Probably transition into another topic. see what we got. I'm trying to think if somebody has some questions. I'm trying to think if somebody had any questions. Or if you talk to anybody about a particular topic.
No, not lately.
Yeah, we'll get more in detail with the topic concerning hell as well.
Right.
You know, but not today. Not today. Just gave you a little bit just from Isaiah, so that way you just have a scripture that you can go by that's out there.
Just put it out there about what the Bible say, not what we say. What the Bible say.
Yep.
You know, it's time to put away all that false doctrine, man. Christianity, even the false doctrine amongst our brothers, man.
Yeah. That's why Isaiah has to say, how readest thou in the scriptures? Not your own opinion. You know?
Yeah.
Your own opinion is not going to win in this at all. It's just not. You got to stick with what the book says. And the book is very clear about certain subjects, about certain things. It's just very straightforward. There's no reason to be over deep. It's just straight to the point. You know, even examples throughout Acts shows you the same thing.
Right.
You know, I'm trying to think about something that we could go into the book of life and things like that. But I know some of the stuff that's been happening recently on the news with well, there was a little bit of an economic scare with the Dow dropping down a few points and then bouncing back up. You got China dealing with America on a lot of trade talk issues. And those things are expected to happen. The wars and rumors of wars. In fact, India bought some what do you call it? Some self-defense, anti-missiles from Russia, which America then threatened India with sanctions and stuff like that for buying that stuff. So here it is, America is known to bomb all around the world, right? A country goes and gets a machine that's going to allow them to take down missiles that are coming at them, and that's considered a problem to America.
Like they should be asking America, what you got plans on sending something over here?
Yeah.
You know?
Now let's deal with this particular topic. I don't know, we might even split it up on the video. Let's deal with Christianity.
Yeah.
Let's deal with Christianity as it's been shown to us, because a lot of what we're talking about is dealing with false doctrinal teachings.
That's right.
Now, one of the things that we've learned is that we're told to believe in a version of the Bible that a people that they celebrated Christopher Columbus Day last week. You're telling me a people that came and committed the worst act of genocide on the planet is going to give you a religion that's going to be for your salvation?
Right.
Even they know that's stupid for you to believe in. They know.
Kind of sense.
That don't make no sense. I'm going to believe a people that came over here, enslaved our people, committed the worst acts of genocide.
Right.
Is going to also give you a religion that's going to also free you. Nope. No sirree. That's not going to happen. And that's the reason why if you go into, there's actually in fact, I'll pull it up on my phone. I might be able to edit it and put it on the video. I'm going to read this statement. If you got this piece of it, try and find this picture. I believe I saved it on my phone. Here's a statement that was said by some Edomites. This is from this is a passage from a book. It's called the Book of Slave Codes in the section on prohibition against black people being taught to read. Okay, now here's a quote. This is actually a paragraph from this particular book. It says, in the House of Delegates of Virginia in 1832, Mr. Berry said, we have as far as possible closed every avenue by which light might enter their minds. If we could extinguish the capacity to see the light, our work would be completed. They would then be on a level with the beasts of the field, and we should be safe. I am not certain that we would not do it if we could find out the process and that on the plea of necessity. So the quote was basically, the guy said, this is Mr. Berry from 1832 among the delegates of Virginia, saying that it's imperative that they ensure that we do not receive the light. Now, from what we've been told, that Christianity that they've been teaching us is the light, right?
Right.
So if that's the case, that means if they believe that the Christianity that they were teaching our people was the light, they would then then we shouldn't even be Christians. So, quote unquote Christians.
Right.
But they know that the religion that they gave you is not going to let you see the light. That's part of the deception.
Yep.
They understood that they could not defeat us if we understood the truth.
We knew the truth.
And they called it the light. Now, who's the light? Now, go ahead and get this precept. You got your
Got a
precept?
scripture.
You go to
You
get
just talking about.
Yeah.
This is Ecclesiastes 22 and verse 8. He that telleth a tale to a fool speaketh to one in slumber. When he has told his tale, he will say, what's the matter? You don't believe me?
That's
You know?
cold.
I'm telling you, this is truth, man. The Lord came from a virgin. This is the truth.
Yeah.
He's going to save you.
His name is Jesus.
Yeah, and his name is Jesus. Blonde hair, blue eyes.
Yep. Looking like Cesare. It just so happens he looks like Cesare Caesar Borgia.
They can only tell those tales to somebody that's asleep, man.
Yep.
That don't know what's going on, don't know the truth.
Yep. Man, that's heavy. That's heavy. See,
You wanted John?
yeah, you get that John 1. Yeah. Start with me now.
This is the book of St. John, chapter 1. What you want to write, right?
Yeah.
Start at verse 4. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the life was the light of men, and the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended not. That's what we're looking for?
Yeah.
Verse 6. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. The same came for a witness to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might believe. He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light.
Now that John, he's talking about is John the Baptist.
Right.
That was sent to bear witness of the light, which was Yahawashi.
That's right.
Keep going.
That was the true light, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not.
And that word there for world is cosmos, meaning the world that knew him not, which was talking about Israel.
That's right.
Okay? And every man that it talks about it lightens up in the world is talking about the man of Israel that are going to be illuminated. So it tells you, says about how you were yet illuminated.
Right.
That's in the epistles. They use the word when you were then illuminated.
Right.
So that's what Esau, as he's ruled us, and even he quoted in 1832 that it was very important for us not to see the light. This shows you that this man knows that we were supposed to know the true gospel, and he understood if we knew it, we would then take over.
That's right.
And that's why they have, it's of necessity. He says of necessity to do this. That was his last part of his quote. He said that this was of necessity. This is the reason why Esau has think tanks. This is the reason why Esau has his media. This is the reason why Esau elevates certain pastors. He elevates certain people in your media spaces. You're never going to find someone speaking the real, unadulterated truth on TV. You're just not going to find it.
That's right, man.
They're not going to let you utter words like Yahawashi on TV. They'll let you say Jehovah, Jesus, they'll say all that. But they say Yahawashi, they start doing Inquisition. And so, what's that? Start inquiring about what is this guy talking about? So their whole point is to make sure that you don't see none of that. You know?
The majority of Jakes sleep, man. Like I just read in scripture in Ecclesiastes, they sleep. So they're gonna believe that tale.
Yep, like the brother brought out, man, that's heavy. He said it's believed by one who slumbers, man.
Right.
That's why you tell Jake all the time, like we started out saying, you're gonna accept the religion from the people that conquered you, man. This man came and did the most brutal acts of wickedness upon you, and you believe it.
And believe it.
It's just like the video I put up, I don't know if you ever see it, where it showed them people in Congo getting their hands chopped off, man. That boy King Leopold killed 2, maybe 10 million people. You go there, they're staunch Christians, man. And this is pictures they got of their own people, their relatives, their grandfathers, and grandmothers with their hands chopped off, man. You got people out there that are alive right now going to churches in Congo whose grandfathers and grandmothers they grew up with had no hands because their hands got chopped off from not picking up enough rubber for the Edomites. And then they go to the church with a freaking Edomite Christ worshiping.
Right.
You asleep, man.
Sleep. Slumber.
You're in a deep slumber if you believe that. And that's the reason why a lot of these Edomites have a problem with us coming up against their Christianity, man. Because now we're able to flip it on them and show them that they are not the real Christians, man, of the Bible.
That's right.
You know, like we were talking about earlier, man, the apostles did not have a military wing.
That's right.
They didn't set up no Jesuit force with an army from the Catholic Church to come and slaughter people over here.
That's right.
To come and slaughter people. That's not how it was pushed, man. You go through the book of Acts, show us one time where someone raised up a weapon and pushed the gospel. But we're supposed to believe you Edomites that y'all came and conquered with the force of the sword and did the most brutal acts ever known to mankind on the people. And that we're supposed to believe that what you have is the real Christianity.
Right.
Well, listen, yeah, those people were evil, you know, but that doesn't take away from the message. No, yes, it does. It does take away from the message. The message was brought by a rampaging, wicked group of people on the planet known as Edomites.
And also that message preaches that they deserve forgiveness.
Yep.
No matter what they done did in the past, they deserve forgiveness.
Yep.
That's what that message preaches.
Yep.
And that's why a lot of you Jakes that's in slumber believe that message and wants to be joined hand in hand with this devil.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not how it's gonna be. That's not how it's supposed to be. We want to forgive this devil.
Because you forgive him, you're always in the next lane of what to do next.
Yep.
What he's ready to do next. Esau saying, "Oh, election's coming up. Y'all ready to do it." See, that's how Esau knows that y'all not serious. Because you Jakes will complain about Jakes being slaughtered, but then you go right in and participate in his stuff. You know, you participate in his stuff outright. You still will go look for the next Edomite and the next candidate to elect.
Yep.
Believing that it's going to change.
Rounding up the people in the churches, going out to the polls, bringing them in busloads from them.
Yep.
Just because he done came to your church and spoke.
Don't Bernie Sanders came to our church. Oh, Beto.
Yeah.
Let me see them signs everywhere. Beto, all over the place. There's a bunch of silly women of our nation running around trying to push politics. With their intersectional politics, you know, putting you deeper and deeper into sin,
right?
You know, because that's really the whole point of them doing that is to bring you to a lower level to keep you completely conquered.
That's right.
You know, that's the reason why eventually they had to let Jake get openly with Edomites at a certain point, because it was the next level of their distraction, man. Part of when you go into the Moab. Going into the Old Testament, the book of Numbers, and the Moabites sent their daughters, man.
Sure did.
if it meant that they had to speak, like, well, that's only speaking of, right? I just said that and look who walked by. You know? The Moabites sent their daughters, man, to entice the men of Israel. Because they understood that we got to keep these men in a weakened state to not believe in their God. In their power. See if we can get right here. This is what's that? Oh, Psalm 55 and 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with them. He hath broken his covenant. Esau had all these agreements with the Native Americans. Had all these agreements that he wasn't going to take the land. Hey, you can stay here, and he kept pushing them further and further away. To the point now they're in land that doesn't even bear fruit. They don't have buffaloes. You know, they're in the worst condition they've ever been. But this man has violated every single last treaty of people that were at peace and taught him how to farm, how to survive winters. And then Esau in the next 6 weeks will be telling you to celebrate Thanksgiving. Yeah. Celebrate Thanksgiving for what? For what reason should we celebrate Thanksgiving? You think that they would celebrate and commemorate a feast to commemorate the day that they lost or even a war? But they'll tell us to commemorate a day that celebrates the slaughter of our people. And you, Jakes, will run right with it, man. Because you're in a sleep. You're in a slumber. Yep. You know? So again, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So I know that Jake up there. I got people walking by that I know. They ain't even seeing me. The dude in the pool. Yeah, I went to school with him. Yeah. So that's part of what it is, man. The word smooth and oil. Oh, God bless you. Mm-hmm. Jesus loves you. Right. You know, Esau said all smooth, all heartwarming and compassionate sounding. Right. And then he comes through and kills you. Then at his own churches, after one of y'all got killed, he ain't saying nothing about it. He ain't saying nothing about any injustice or nothing. You go to your so-called black church, some of your pastors don't want to say nothing about it. The pastors get scared too. They don't want to ruffle any feathers, you know, lose any checks that they get, lose their benefits. Go ahead, Arthur.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 27 and verse 27. He that worketh mischief, it shall fall upon him, and he shall not know whence it cometh. So, like the brother was bringing out earlier, how you know, when these Edomites came over here, how they deceived the Indians, the Native American Indians. You know, and they're deceiving our people today with the Christianity. You know, that's mischief, man. And soon or later, all that's going to fall back up on you. Like right now, a lot of you eating your own words. Mm-hmm. You know, y'all starting to see the truth coming out. Yep. You know, so all that doctrine y'all been putting out there is starting to fall back on you guys.
It is.
You know,
a lot of Edomites is cop and please, man.
That's right.
Because this doctrine, the doctrine of their fake Christianity, then came.
It's false.
And it came to their head, and they're like, damn, you know what? Yep. They ain't got nothing to say. Yep. A lot of these Edomites, man, they come up here, man, they walk, man, and we deal with them for 2 minutes, they walk down the street. And they know everything we're saying is the truth, man.
That can't overthrow the truth, man.
Yep. Esau is smart enough to know not to sit and go back and forth when he gets to the hell. Right. He'd rather leave and feel like he came out with a win just by leaving on.
Throw that little smirk.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. He seemed like an Edomite in this couple, man. He saw us.
Yeah, he's sitting there.
He's sitting there with his woman. He heard us going. He wasn't ready to step here and start talking to us.
What he did.
He went down the street. He just waved at us and walked down the street. Because he knew everything we were saying was the truth.
Yep.
Why would we believe a people's religion that conquered us? Did the worst acts of brutality. And then here it is, it's 2018. You Negroes in Houston got to stay at a church without walls, and you can't go to Second Baptist on the north side.
Can't go there.
There's only like a handful of jakes that go up in there. A handful. And the handful ain't saying a damn thing. The pastor, what is his name?
Gotta have money to go there.
Yep. And a lot of times those be people that like are co-workers.
Yeah.
They might have moved to Houston. They might be working at Exxon or something. And then they got friends with one of the guys. He's like, hey Marcus, why don't you just come to our church?
Right.
He come there and they just check it out for a little bit. But them Edomites ain't by and large in with you, man. When you talking about your oppression, they're talking about how they support Trump.
Right.
You know? They're saying, hey, you got to pray for Trump. Everybody need to pray for Trump.
I'm talking about you.
I'm talking about, yeah.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah. So how is that your religion when you can't even you can't even to worship with the same people that gave you that religion, man? They want your stuff separate, man. They gave you handlers to deal with y'all. They don't even want y'all in the same space. Then they got Joel Osteen's church that tries to prevent this Rainbow Coalition type stuff going on. He ain't talking about it. He ain't talking about nothing. The boy ain't talking about a dang thing up in Lakewood.
Nothing, man.
I've been there. That boy says nothing.
Teaching you motivation.
Yeah, motivation
to
to
do
speak.
what? To thrive in this wicked society.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Boy, come on, man. Y'all just eating it up, man. Cause you look like Cesare, man, in y'all head.
Because you're sitting there wishing that you can get it like he got it.
Yep.
But it ain't gonna happen.
This stuff is complete. It's a complete mess, man. That's why you got so many of our people. They leaving and going into other doctrines because they've been so turned off by Christianity. They don't even want to deal with the book no more. Even when you come to them and be like, "Listen, brother, they was interpreted it wrong." They don't want to hear that.
People scattered sheep, man, running after all kind of different doctrines.
Yep.
Leaving the Christian church in groves.
Yep. They've had whole articles about it.
Right.
They've had whole articles about how our people are leaving it in groves. Even
God bless you, brother. God bless you. Take care.
All right, thank you, brother. They even talk about how T.D. Jakes was even saying about a few weeks ago about how they're using a lot of young people.
That's right.
They're losing a lot of young people that are leaving, man. They don't want to deal with it no more because they're going on the internet and they're seeing that you got a false breakdown, bro.
They seeing the truth.
You know?
They seeing the truth out there, man.
They see you trying to hold them under the oppression of Esau.
Right.
So they join in other stuff that doesn't deal with it. Even if it's fake. They'll go join Egyptology, become militant, whatever it is, man. They don't want to deal with that stuff no more, man. These younger jakes don't want to deal with them lies no more, man. And they're confronting their elders about it. They're confronting their elders, man. Around this time, every year you got multiple households of Jake divided. Divided, man. Every household, man. Divided, man. My son, he don't want to celebrate Thanksgiving. Hey, what's up with Junior and them? Oh, he ain't coming. Man, why he ain't coming? Since he joined some Israelite group, he's saying all these holidays is wrong. But this is a family tradition.
Right.
But this is a family tradition. We've been doing this all these years. I still got beef with my folks, man. They still beefing with me.
Right.
For years, man, they've been beefing with me since 2005.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They still beef with me every fall, man. That beef always comes up, man. As soon as it gets towards Thanksgiving, the beef starts to rise, man. The tension starts to rise. Oh, your sister's is coming into town. Your brother going to be coming to town. Auntie so-and-so is going to be here. I want you to stop by the house. I don't know. I ain't going. I already went to Boston Market and got me a 2-piece, a full chicken quarter, a 3/4 chicken that I'm eating while watching some brothers break down something.
That's right, man.
We looking forward to the day off, not cooking up some sweet potato pie, some turkey with stuffing, with some cranberry sauce. Y'all do that, bro. That's why I see the thing about it is that's the division that the Most High set up, man, in Israel.
That's right, man.
He set that division up, and it's beautiful because as the more ways come to an end, more households that men and women have to break out of are going to be divided. And Most High set it up like that.
Right.
Every year it's just going to increase, man, to where they'll be talking amongst each other. You know, my daughter don't believe this. You know, my daughter, she don't even call happy birthday.
She in one of them coats.
Yeah, she in one of them coats, man. And Most High's like, yeah, I like it. I like it like that, man, like Cardi B, man.
This is Proverbs 25 and 11. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in pitchers of silver. Like when them youngsters in them churches hear the truth come out on YouTube, on the internet.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful to them, man.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds beautiful. It's touching somewhere in their spirit.
Yeah.
So they got to lead them churches, man.
Yeah, they got to go, man.
You know?
Got to go to grow.
That's right.
Because you can't be amongst thorns and thistles, man. It's going to stunt your growth, man.
Right. That's right.
They're going to lead the whole thing, man, because they're going to be like, man, the hell with this stuff, man. I ain't going to this church, man. Y'all can have TD fakes. Man, I know in Dallas, man. I know in Dallas, man. TD Jakes catching hell for them youngsters, man.
Oh, man.
I already know, bro. And we was talking about that before he even admitted it.
Right.
We know he catching hell for them youngsters in Dallas, man. You know, them boys got that thick accent out there in Dallas, man. You say, man, you ain't talking about nothing. Man, why we gotta celebrate this Christmas? You know how them boys in Dallas sounded.
And you got them type of brothers, though, that's going in there and probably confounding some of his church members.
Yeah, being in the Bible study.
Questioning. Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, man. I already know he catching hell for them youngsters, man. I know them youngsters in there just talking all kind of noise in the Bible studies. Man, you ain't talking about nothing, man. It's like, they'd be like, Miss Parker, where's your son at? Miss Parker, where's your son? Like, you know how it is, you know, Brian.
I haven't seen your son, Miss Parker.
He been talking about this Israel stuff. He's like, oh my goodness, another one?
Boy, know he's a Gentile.
We know he a heathen. We just heathen saved by grace.
And the Christianity is so strong, man. You know, I just sometimes I'll be just cruising through some brothers' videos, and there's always a Christian gonna come up and be acting like they just know the Bible so tough, and they all say the same thing about we not Israelites, we Gentiles. Yep. That's some strong wine, man.
Yep.
That's strong, and I mean they be serious. Like I know, son, you don't know what you don't understand, but you a Gentile, we not Israelites. Now that's some strong wine. That's some indoctrination that have been pushed for hundreds of years, man.
This is what they do. This is Jeremiah chapter 5 and verse 7. How shall I pardon thee for this? Thy children have forsaken me and sworn by them that are no gods. When I had fed them to the full, they then committed adultery and ascended themselves by troops in harlot houses.
Ascended themselves in troops in harlot houses. Now what you think that's talking about?
Yep.
In troops. That means in large groups.
Yeah, by the thousands. The troop was like 1,000 men.
That's large groups.
And these guys went to these churches deep. That's why you have to build these mega churches, huh?
Harlot house.
They got the church without walls had to expand his campus, right?
Franchises.
You know, they got a franchise satellite campuses because y'all getting so deep against it. They assemble themselves in troops. They praying to the pleasure rain against Yahweh, bro.
Come on, man.
By the thousands, bro.
Dang.
They got to bring up more satellite campuses. The boy had built one out in Sugar Land.
Yeah.
You know, he had the one over there for I-10.
And he got the one on Queenston.
Then he got, I think he built one on the north side, didn't he?
Big brand new one over there on Queenston.
Yeah. You have to expand it because y'all jinxing some of y'all selves so deep against Yahweh, man. He's like, man, I got to build more harlot houses for these people. You know?
Yep.
I had a girl that I was talking to. She tried to drag me to one of them jokers, man. I told her, I said, I'm not going. You know? that's that boy teaching false doctrine. She knew how I rolled. I was like, you must be crazy. That's what I told her. I said, first of all, I ain't even touch you. And then you gonna tell me to come over to this church? I said, you must be crazy. You already know how I roll.
It's madness.
I said, until you understand this, I'm not even gonna deal with. I can't even deal with you like that.
That's right, man.
We know more than your pastor. You can teach your pastor. I said, and that's not practical. That's just the truth.
And I watched that boy. I just click sometime on a Christian church or sometime on Sunday just to see what they talking about. I clicked on that boy church. That boy was I think it was First Peter. He was in. I think it's First Peter. And the elect. He was saying that we all the elect.
Oh, elect for chosen.
Right. He say we got all the elect.
A lot of professional jakes go there, man. Almost a lot of people I work with, they go to that same church, right?
Professional, but it make you look so ignorant to be up in a place like that listening to that. Mm-hmm. You can sit down and read for yourself, right? But the thing is, they don't want to hear the truth from brothers standing out here on the corners, man.
Yeah, they don't. That's part of the foolish things of this world to confound the wise.
Right.
They'd rather take it. Jake that went to seminary school and got his PhD in theology, and put on a crispy suit and put his S-curl activator juice in his hand.
He got his degree in theology from his slave master, though.
Yeah. When they created theology schools, Jake was shackled up.
Man.
You know, you go to seminary schools be open. Jake,
you can't even start a church these days without one.
Yeah, damn near. Yeah, because
you need a theology degree.
Yeah, in order for you to be credible among the people.
Yeah.
You're gonna need that theology degree, bro. Joel Osteen was able to circumvent around it because of his old man.
Right.
But everybody else, they go to theology school. If you look up like Creflo Dollar, you can look at his credentials, he went to theology school. Yep. Because he probably did. Yeah. Because he was a son, one of the sons. He was also like a associate. He wasn't an associate pastor, but he had a position in the church.
Yeah.
But our people don't believe anything unless it came from Esau. That's why even sometimes we gotta use Esau's words to prove something change. Proof from Islam, we gotta go to the freaking book. We gotta tell you the Edomite man that said it when he wrote it. So that way we can prove to you that wasn't one of our people that said it, and then you believe.
Right.
Oh look, man, the Edomite, he said this back in 1854. The y'all Israel.
Yeah.
Oh man, for real?
Yeah, now if you show them something like that, then they'll believe.
I start bucking.
Then Joel Osteen go out and tell them that they Israel.
Jake start coming through fringes, everything,
God.
throw away all pork, everything.
It's okay, Joe. You can still get into heaven.
You can still get in the kingdom. He'd be like, yeah. I'm just waiting for it. It's like taking over by outright Edomite. That's what I'm waiting for.
Right.
Because that's got to be around the corner. That's got to be somewhere. That's got to be somebody. And Edomite just going to be like saying he's a known Edomite, but we all saved by grace. He's the head pastor.
Why you don't never see none of these pastors out here mailing none of these brothers that's on these corners out here? But they know they can't stand up against this doctrine.
They know.
It's the truth.
This is the bane. This right here is the reason why they're having problems in their churches, man.
That's right.
Because brothers actually got information now that they can come back. And a lot of guys stopped showing up altogether. They was getting dragged by their women in the church. Man, he saw a video, see the proper breakdown about something. So man, I'm staying home and watching the NFL. You can go to church. I'm about to watch this Cowboys game.
Yeah. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 19. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. Where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of this world? Has not God made foolish the wisdom of this world? So where they at? Where are you ones that say that you know these scriptures, man? Where are you pastors, bishops, apostles?
Yeah.
Where y'all at? You with your doctrine degrees in theology? Where y'all at? You know? The Most High say he gonna bring down low the ones who think they wise in this world.
Come on, man.
Verse 21. For after that, in the wisdom of God, the world by wisdom knew not God. It pleased God by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. So we out here looking like fools to these Christians.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
That's why they don't want to come over and listen to what we got to say.
Yep.
Because we looking like fools to them.
Yep. That's how the Most High set it up too.
That's right. That's what the scripture was just saying. You know, we trying to bring the truth by looking like fools out here preaching to the unwise. Also about what we doing out here, this is what's pleasing to the Lord. Not standing in the church on the pulpit with your $500 alligator shoes on, $500 suit from Niche the Man. You know, got from one of the Italian suit stores.
Yeah.
Buy one suit, get the other one half off.
Some more?
No.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that's also talked about amongst Jake, ever heard of, I don't know if you ever seen him videos sometimes, you watch a video of Jake on YouTube and they'll talk about getting on code.
Yeah.
You know, we got to get on code.
Yeah.
But a code is, when you look up the word code, it's a set of laws, man.
That's right, bro.
So Jake is talking about getting on code, but they have not signified what they want to follow.
They don't know what they want to do.
Because every man is doing what's purpose in their own heart.
Yep.
And the code right now that they follow is Esau's code. Because really the code that they follow, it is actually a branch out of Esau's system, which includes freedom of speech.
Yep.
You know, the right to liberty, pursuit of happiness. That's the reason why Esau slowly opened up to this particular time all the things.
Yep.
You could go from a man to a woman to a man. You can do whatever the hell you want. You can eat any kind of food. You can practically do anything. And then that's the reason why when Jake tried to come together, not under Yahawashi, they're all coming with their own doctrine. The Most High splintered our people into various doctrines. And that's why every time y'all get together, y'all come from conflict.
Yep.
Because it tells you the gathering of the people be with Shiloh, with Yahawashi.
That's right.
Not with just we're all melanated people. You got so many variant of doctrines. And a lot of y'all have branched off of really out of the doctrine of American ideals.
That's it.
That's all it is. It looks like y'all are separated, but really y'all are still under the wing of Edomite supremacy.
Yep. This man started so many of them false doctrines out there, it's ridiculous. And so every which way you turn, you know, except for this truth, every other doctrine you turn to, Esau gonna have his hand in it.
Yep.
But only this doctrine here, I mean, the truth in this Bible, he can't touch it. He can try to distort it a little bit for those who are asleep. But it ain't gonna work with God's elect.
I got this perfectly. This right here. I just flipped over to it. And this shows you that a lot of our people, y'all are actually operating under the code of Esau, man. And because your forefathers and Edomite forefathers that were infiltrated among you, like the Boule, right? The chocolate Edomites,
Right.
they gave y'all a set of codes to branch off and follow you. Now this is First Maccabees, chapter 6 and verse 58. It says, "Now therefore let us be friends with these men, and make peace with them and with their nation." Okay, that's Esau. The nation of Esau, right? Because remember, nation nation comes from a common ancestor, common forefather.
That's right.
Now let us be friends with these men and make peace with them and with their nation, in covenant with them that they shall live after their laws, and as they did before. For they are therefore displeased and have done all these things because we abolished their laws. So the king and the princes were content, and wherefore he sent unto them to make peace, and they accepted thereof. Also the king and the princes made an oath unto them, whereupon they went out of the stronghold. Then the king entered into Mount Zion, but when he saw the strength of the place, he broke his oath that he had made, and gave commandment to pull down the walls round about.
Even whenever you want to try to join his side with him, he's still going to undermine you.
Yep. Still undermined. Afterward, departed he in haste and returned into Antioch, where he found Philip to be master of the city. So he fought against him and took the city by force. So you can't make no agreements with this person, man. And our elders, when you go into Jason, the high priest, he made a covenant to do after the manner of the
Right.
And that's the reason why you got a continual generational expansion of wickedness.
Yep.
Because that goes back to when our people were accepting their ideals more and more.
That's right.
When we were separated, we couldn't take a part of everything they did. Go ahead.
It's in Jake nature. You know what I'm going to say? It's in their nature now, man. They've been doing it for so long.
It's part of the culture.
Yeah. Come to them naturally, man, to want to do the way of the heat.
Yep. So every generation, man, it just gets to the next level.
When you tell Jake he got his own culture,
Yep.
besides just smoking weed and rapping,
Playing sports.
yeah, playing sports, playing basketball, playing football, he don't want to hear.
Yep. We already got our own code, man.
Yeah, got our own code.
But Jake don't want it, man. Jake prefers Esau's, man. As I said, the Jew and master after the life of the heathen. That's what Jason the high priest did. You know, they started wearing Greek clothing. They started doing their customs, man. Worshiping their gods, doing their festivals, just like as it is unto this day. Like they say in the scripture, right?
Yep.
As it is unto this day. You know? So it's like, that's why it's like when we tell our people, you know, this is not the way. They look at you funny.
Yep.
And then when you try and point to them, when has America ever been great for our people? They get stumped. But then why y'all believe in it? For 400 years, you still believing this man's gonna change, man. That's like believing a lion won't roar and devour. You know?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's like for 400 years you done seen something operate the same way, and then you believe on the 401st year, you know, it's going to be any different. Empirical evidence proves otherwise. I mean, what year did this man not kill any of our people innocently? It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. It never, you know?
Yep, it don't.
When did this man to not put our people in some level of captivity, whether enslavement or imprisonment? He's held us captive every year since we've been here. But he's gonna come to you and tell you, whisper sweet nothings in your ear that he's gonna somehow change. guys are gullible, man. You're a very gullible set of people if you start believing that. You know, that's why the Most High calls the people sottish, man.
Sottish children.
You know? What you looking for? Hey. What's up with that?
Looking for something?
I did have $1.
Oh no, that's not our. We're not trying to take no donation. No.
No.
I just opened it and left it. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
No, you fine. Thank you though. I
don't know what was going on with that.
She thought I'm trying to. I guess probably what you thought that was on me.
Yeah.
Still laughing like something wrong with her though.
Yeah. She might have came out of the mentalist side.
What she was saying? What she had said?
I think she said she wanted $1 or what?
A penny?
She had coins on it, but it looked like she wanted money.
Oh.
I don't know what she was looking for.
I know she wasn't going to stick her hand up in the box if it was like some donation.
Yeah.
She was going to stick her hand in there.
She wasn't going to be able to run. She's too small. She got them flip-flops. It's easy to get that back.
You got some weirdos out here, man.
Man, that lady there. She was just laughing. She probably smoked something. You know? And some Edom might, by nighttime, some Edom might go try to take her around the corner and do something to her.
Don't get her.
Yeah, but all people, it's about being wise, and understanding what the will of the Lord is. Man, it tells you that.
Yep.
Understanding what the will of the Lord is. That's very important. Guys talk about chip, like like they work at Lay's, like a Lay's factory or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like they work, like they work for Frito-Lay.
Chip.
Like, yeah, y'all say it more than the people that work there.
It's chip.
The chip ain't going, knowing what the chip is ain't going to save you, man. It just ain't, because you're going to have the will to overcome and fight against it.
That's right.
And the will is only if you have Yahawashi in you.
Yep.
Because now you got a doctrine full circle, right? That's going to justify you taking the chip anyway because you're going to get into the kingdom. So at the end of the day, your doctrine is going to make you justify taking this.
Right.
That's part of what you call leaven and leaveneth the whole lump.
Yep.
Because your doctrine already told people that they're going to make it into the kingdom anyway. So when the going gets tough and the tough get going, right, you're going to justify taking the chip, man.
Well, they say I'm going to
Yep. So you guys won't maybe back and pass a day before they doctrine justifies itself to take the chip.
Right.
They'll be sitting there in their house after not having food for a day, and they're going to be like, you know what? The apostle said that you're going to make it to the kingdom anyway. They're going to start to justify themselves. And they're going to go to the nearest chip station, take the chip with unlimited, with whatever money they're going to put on it. They're going to go get their ration money. They're going to go get their clothes rations.
Get them a charger.
Yeah, get them a charger. Jake likes charger.
Be on. It's on.
You're going to get the V6 charger because Jake don't care about getting the RT 392 model. He want to get the regular V6.
Jake going to be around here cutting off other Jake's right hand, man.
Yeah.
Trying to use the chip.
Yeah. I mean, that's the time. It's like you got to understand full circle why we have to go into this subject. Because that's how men will justify themselves on that day.
Yep.
Is to say, we're going to make it to the kingdom anyway, and they're going to be trying to use that time to go on rampage and kill their neighbors, rape, whatever.
Yeah.
Rather than basically having the understanding that, hey, this time is the end. Let me carry myself holy and blameless all the way to the end. They're going to be like, man, when the time comes, that's why when you go into some of these different groups, they talk about what they want to do on them days, man. Man, they going to be getting killed, man. Women are going to be getting raped because that's what you're planning on doing.
Right.
You're planning on when a whole great suit, you got some girl in your apartment complex that you want to go down and snatch up and hold her against her will or whatever.
That's why some of this false doctrine, man, is a true stumbling block, man.
Yep, it is.
Yep.
Because it's leaven, man. When you start examining it more and more, you start really seeing like how one believing in a particular type of doctrine can end up causing them to just really end up just throw everything all out the window.
Right.
You know?
Might be like a ball or something.
Yeah, he would like to play ball. You know, that's why we have to. That's why we have to. These things have to be brought out full circle, man. Because you don't want to be deceived by the cunning craftiness of men, man.
Right.
It tells you by being deceived by the cunning craftiness of men, and whereby they wait to deceive. You got these men. They think about false doctrines, and sometimes they hold on to them until the time is right, and they throw it out there. Before you know it, man, they got you calling them Father Divine, saying you're the spiritual father. You know? And these guys, they have a method to their madness, man. It tells you the evil men and impostors will wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived.
Yep.
So that's why you see a progression of that. You see it all the time, man. You know, and that's why you got to be rooted in sound doctrine.
Doctrine, revelations. Constant. Changing doctrine.
And some of these guys reverted back to Christianity in their doctrine.
That's right.
We've seen guys go and they start going into their doctrine and they start switching it up. And then slowly but surely they start going into the Christianity doctrine.
Doctrine Edomite's been preaching 30 years ago.
You tell me that the Roman Catholic Church is Catholic.
Yeah.
Well, I knew about that stuff from Edomite. Edomites was talking about that when I was in Austin.
Yeah.
When I was living in Austin, man, I had this one Edomite, I knew he was a social pastor. I sat down and I was talking with him. I said, what was Babylon? He came to this whole breakdown about how it's Babylon, the great Roman Catholic Church. You know? Yeah. It's the Antichrist. They started going into all kind of stuff. You know? And Jakes that was in this thing, they went to do the same thing too. They went in, and they reverted to Edomite doctrine.
That's another Christianity doctrine. Like there's just one Antichrist.
It says that the Antichrist many.
Yeah.
Even there be many. It says
that one movie. With that little Damien, remember Damien?
Yeah, Damien.
The Antichrist. You know that movie had your brainwashed thinking it's just one individual that's going to come up against the Lord.
Yeah, there's many. It tells you that the Antichrist many.
Yeah.
There's many, and then there's this. You can look at it if you want to look at it like this. You in any function that's against the Most High.
Right.
There will be one. There is one individual that is above all people as far as in their level of anti-ness against God.
Right.
But there's a collection of people that are altogether representations of the Antichrist mindset.
Right.
That's just plain pure words. You know?
Jake got his girl with his original daughter from another
You can tell.
And he got some other kids.
He got the half kids with the other, you know, you can tell.
She looked like a northern king.
Yeah. It looked like he got two baby mamas going out with all the kids together, right?
Yeah.
That's what it looked like.
No, one baby mama got all the kids.
Yeah.
She got about 3 of them for him. The other 2 ain't.
Yeah. From a previous relationship. The other 2 older, the other kids. Yeah, so we gotta understand, like, overall what's going on, man. That's why we have to come out with these. Because God will tell you that believing that in the doctrine, in believing that there is a hell, is a Christianity-based doctrine. No. In Christianity, they got some belief that it's not.
Yep.
There's churches out there, they'll say there's no hell. Everybody goes to heaven.
Yep.
And when you start talking about Hitler, because Hitler is like considered the most evil modern person, and they start freaking doing the Gregory Hines, or tap dancing. Wait, I thought everybody went to heaven. Then, because they say stuff like this. Well, a Muslim, everybody goes to heaven. Muslim, Jew, Christian, everybody goes to heaven.
And then they preach that like heaven is some place in the sky. You know, the kingdom gonna be like a place in the sky.
Mm-hmm. And then some believe it's gonna be down here.
Yeah.
Like some believe that he's gonna come back and it's gonna be in Jerusalem. Everybody's gonna be in paradise. Everybody.
Right.
Everybody's gonna be able to eat of the tree of life. You know, because after he comes back and he shows himself to the world, everybody that didn't believe is gonna believe. Because he shows up. So that means you didn't need to believe before.
Or you're going to just be walking in the kingdom, what they say? Shamefaced.
Oh, yeah. You didn't believe.
Those men that you're gonna see, those men that was telling the truth. When you see them, you're gonna just put your head down.
Get that in
and be shamed.
Daniel 12.
Come on, man.
That's Daniel 12. That don't make no sense, man. Now, they're saying that that's how you'll feel every once in a while. But it tells you in the scriptures that you're supposed to have everlasting joy, no sorrow, no cry, so it comes from your eyes. Right?
Right.
12 and 1. 12 and 12.
Right. Yeah, it's two. This is Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. Everyone found written in the book, man.
We went back there again now, huh?
Yep. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake.
So these are those that are dead.
Dead.
Sleep in the dust of the earth, meaning that they're literally dead. Not they were in a confused state, like some guys are saying. These are people that are literally dead when this end time happens. Because the ones that were delivered that were written in the book, right? They were written in the book and they were alive when the deliverance happened, so they were taken.
That's right.
And then the other ones that were on earth at the time, they died. Because think about it. No, if you're not delivered at that time, you're going to be dead. Period.
That's right.
The only people that would be delivered alive is the elect.
That's right.
Now, some of the elect will have died before this time, and everybody that didn't believe will be dead.
And they shall, and they shall awake, some to everlasting life,
Meaning
and
those that were written in the book of life that had already died will be resurrected unto life.
And some to shame and everlasting contempt.
Meaning forever and ever.
Right.
Meaning there's not going to be, oh man, we're going to be shamefaced in the kingdom.
Yeah.
The shamefaced in the kingdom is forever for those that believe not. Meaning that, and it tells you they're going to be in the lake of fire.
Yep.
Y'all can't get around that, man. Lake of fire.
No way around it.
That sounds like a lava. That sounds like a lava type pit.
Right.
Because that's what it is, man. When you look at the lava at a volcano, man, it looks like a lake of fire. If you ever go on YouTube and look for a big old picture, right? A big old video, it's going to look like a big old lake of fire.
Yep. What was the precept to that again?
It's from 25 and 40 something.
Matthew?
Yeah.
Everlasting.
Yeah.
Everlasting shame. I mean,
I was going like
something.
Yeah. It's 25. Maybe like 39 or 40. Yeah. Right there. We start 41.
This is Matthew 25 and 41. Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was an hungered, and ye gave me not meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and you took me not in. Naked, and ye clothed me not. Sick and in prison, and ye visit me not. Then shall ye also answer me, saying, Lord, when saw we thee an hungered, or athirst, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister unto thee? Then shall he answer them, saying, Verily I say unto you, insomuch as you did it not to one of the least of these, ye did it not unto me. And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into the life eternal.
Yep. Balance, bro.
Yep.
Everlasting punishment, which includes everlasting shame and contempt.
Yep.
Okay? And then the life eternal is for those that believe, written in the book of life. In fact, it's so heavy, Moses wanted to save the children of Israel from being destroyed and told the Lord to take them out of the book of life if it means that it'll save the children of Israel from being destroyed. That's how heavy it is. He knew that there was a difference between written in the book of life and not, and he was willing to sacrifice himself to save the rest of the nation because of their wickedness. He was like, put me. So he was willing to sacrifice himself, which shows you how much he loved the people. But he knew that it was going to mean that he wouldn't inherit the kingdom. In fact, I think that's Exodus 32 and 32.
Exodus.
Yeah, Exodus 32 and 32. Yep. Probably start off with like 30. There's some context.
Yes.
Wow.
This is Exodus 32 and 30. And it came to pass on tomorrow that Moses said unto the people, Ye have sinned a great sin, and now I will go up unto the Lord, peradventure I shall make an atonement for your sin. And Moses returned unto the Lord and said, Oh, this people have sinned a great sin, and have made them gods of gold. Yet now, if thou wilt forgive their sin, and if not, blot me, I pray thee, out of thy book which thou hast written.
He was ready to make himself the atonement for their sin.
Yep.
And said, blot me out of that book.
Blot him out.
If it means it's going to save these people from being destroyed because of the great sin that they committed.
And Yahweh said unto Moses, Whosoever has sinned against me, him will I blot out of my book.
Come on, man.
So,
wait, but all Israel is going to make it, though.
all Israel's going to make
Even Yahweh told Moses that those that transgress should be against me. I'm going to take out the book, man. Hold up.
That was a good cut. That was a good one. You're right.
So if all Israel ain't going to be in there, bro.
All Israel is not going to be in there, man.
That's a cold cut out of the mouth of Yahweh.
Oh, my goodness. Yep.
Now, he says, now when you read that Isaiah, it says you'll see the bodies of the men that transgressed my law.
Transgress his law. Yep.
Those are the ones every Sabbath, every new moon that will be viewed and seen by everybody else. That's a slicer and dicer.
It is, bro.
That's a slicer and dicer. Those were we linked that up with the Daniel. So he said, those of them that transgressed, them I'll blot out.
That's them.
Yep. And if you look back at it, all them Jakes and enter in, man, just their children. Right? The ones that were 20 years old and under, and then Caleb and Joshua. That's it. But the Most High destroyed them that believe not. It tells you that in Hebrews, he says how after saving the people out of Egypt, he destroyed them that believe not. Meaning he ain't put them in the book of life either.
Yep, that's right.
And them same souls gonna come back and do the same thing. And then you Jakes out there wondering, man, my sister won't believe, my brother, man, my friend that I grew up with, nigga, you don't know who they were. You over here fighting for somebody that may have been in the wilderness dancing with the calf, golden calf.
Long time ago.
You know?
And they back here again doing the same old thing.
Yeah. And you trying to we worried about them. You're like, no, man, can't do that. He's looking for those that he had chosen, man.
Yep. That's right.
He says, them that transgress with them all blot out. If he blotted them out, they can't be written back in. So there's no, he didn't make it. This guy that took a falchion package. This dude was a gangbanger, never repented.
Yeah.
This dude was a rapper, which is basically equivalent to a false prophet. Telling dudes to pop mollies or Percocets, living the good life, like Lil Duval. And then he died, and then he just gonna get into the kingdom and live the good life even more than he did in the past life.
Come on, man.
You guys clowns, man. Homie don't play that.
At all.
You know? Like that with Damon Wayans.
Yeah.
He's like, homie don't play that. Yeah. So the Most High is very direct in his message, man.
Balance.
Yeah, direct and balanced, man. Yahweh Shai agrees. Yahweh said the same thing.
Yep. Prophets.
Daniel said the same thing. Isaiah said the same thing. At some point, we got too many witnesses, man. And it tells you that every word be established by 2 or 3 witnesses. We did that.
That's right.
You got guys coming up with their own false doctrine telling you, man, there is no hell. There is no lake of fire.
You in hell right now.
You in hell right now, brother.
You're going to be wishing for this place, though, when you do get in the real hell.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to be wishing that Babylon was still kicking your butt and you had to slave it up and worry and look over your shoulder and hoping that Edomite cop don't come through and pull you over and kill you.
Right.
You're going to be wishing that you had to try and figure out how you're going to eat your next meal.
Right.
Even the rich man was saying, give me water. Right?
Yep, that's right.
For this, So that's how heavy it is, bro. You can't let these guys out here bamboozle you. Your salvation's on the line.
Right.
I don't give a dang how many years he said he'd been teaching, man. You got guys out here been teaching for 40 years, damn near 40 years, man.
Right.
And they still ain't gotten it right, dude. Just because someone's been teaching for some amount of time don't mean they've been teaching the right thing. You can have a mechanic that been a mechanic for 40 years and they still don't even know how to fix a car. Still struggling. Somebody been doing it for 5 years, they can build a car from the ground up. But you guys would just run up and say, man, that guy been working on a car for 40 years, I'm gonna go to hell. That's how y'all are thinking. That's our woman. Read that? That's our woman. It's nothing but confusion in this place, man.
It's confusion, bro.
Straight confusion, bro. That's why it's called Babylon, man.
They gone.
The land of confusion. That's what it means, man.
They both confused.
Both of them confused.
She want a woman that looks like a man, but you don't want a man. But the other one want a woman that want to look like a man. It's bad out, man.
Yeah. Then the girl
Think about that whole situation.
Yeah.
It's just.
Then the girl desired a woman to please her intimately, and she got to come out with a plastic machine. You know, she got to come out with the fake thing rather than the real thing to please her. This girl got to go to the store and go. That's crazy.
That's
man.
right.
You know,
That's right.
it's crazy. Keep on moving like soul to soul.
It's truth, boy.
You know?
Tell you.
That boy, he knew not to say nothing.
Boy.